Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Peter and this is Tech Suvara. Today we're going to talk about requirements, software requirements that matter for you, for your project, and for your life. So let's get straight to it. Hey, you may have noticed things have changed around here. We've moved to a new office. It'll be like this for a little while. Rearrange things, not sure how it's going to look, but Tech Suvara is going to be like this for a while. Okay, let's talk about what we needed to talk about. Let's talk about the importance of requirements, both for the developer, person building what's specified in the specifications requirements, but also the person writing the requirements. Let me take you back to a while ago where I was working on a project, and in the specification, it was written that there was a window that needed to be changed, and this is what needed to be changed, and here is a design representation of those changes. Okay, so let's move forward. So the development of the requirements went along. Everything was built to spec as per the requirements. Now we get to the end, and all of a sudden, when we go into testing, the question is raised of, well, what about all these other windows? Right? So I already had previously looked and thought, well, maybe there are other windows. Maybe we need to have a look at them. This is importance of questioning and making sure during stand-up, during your collaborative discussions of whether something else needs to be built. What are the exact specifications? Do the specifications need to change? Now, what happened at that from there is that the project had already gone over time, and we had to step back and rewrite and redo a lot of things. The requirements writer and the developer ended up being very depressed. The project ran out of time. They were fired. One of the guys ended up becoming an alcoholic, ended up on the street, and unfortunately ended his life. No, I'm just joking. Okay, take that back. That didn't happen, but it does hit your confidence, both as a developer and as a requirements writer, someone who's writing requirements. It does hit the project. It does have an impact on deliverables. So what can we take away from this situation? There are two things. One is be careful and be mindful and vigilant of when you're writing the requirements that they are specifying exactly what needs to be built. Go over them once, twice, visualize what it is that you need and want to be built. Don't rush it. See, what happens is if you rush it, you might save yourself 5 minutes up front, but it's going to take days, weeks, who knows how long, to take a step back and redo the whole thing again. So you have to go all the way back to the requirement. You have to go all the way back to the task. You have to rewrite it. You have to re-clarify and then put it into development and then into testing and then into production. So all that process kind of has to start again. And especially if it's a big task, if you get something wrong at the front of the development cycle in the sprint, gets built, you have to take a step back. You lose a lot of the momentum that a developer has while they're building something to use the context in which they're in to develop that thing. And then you have to kind of reset it and you have to review it again and, do code reviews again. All this stuff, it adds up. It can add up to a lot of time. And as a developer in a collaborative and agile environment, it is important, if you notice something that doesn't seem right, make sure you question it. Make sure you raise the issue and don't just try and rush to build the thing that's specified if you think that there could be something wrong. Make sure you double check and triple check. And while you're in the context, you can also raise any issues that you think might be affecting the development of it. It's prudent to be collaborative, to question, to be somewhat skeptical when you're looking at requirements, especially if you notice something that doesn't seem to make sense, it doesn't fit. Take a little bit of time to develop that kind of skill to be critical of the requirements and own the requirement like it is your own. So because you are responsible at the moment as a developer, when you pick that work up, you are responsible for it. And if there are things that need to be changed, you need to raise them. Otherwise, you're going to be working on it again and the project is going to be late. So there's two responsibilities here that need to fit and they need to collaborate closely. When things go wrong, you need to go back to the start and really develop these requirements out if you find that there is something wrong with them, because there could be other things that you're missing. So here are the lessons to take away today. One is be vigilant and careful when writing requirements. Don't rush them. Visualize what you want to build. Visualize what you want as a result. And you go over your specifications once, twice, 3 times. Now, when I talk about requirement specifications, this goes for pretty much any software development process out there, whether it's Kanban, whether it's agile sprints, whether it's a waterfall project. Whatever you write as a specification in the task needs to be carefully checked and reviewed and verified. Otherwise, you run into problems. So the other lesson as a developer is also be mindful, be skeptical, and be prudent, and double check and confirm things before you completely commit to developing and building them, before you get to testing and then things come back and you go, well, that wasn't in the requirements. He said, she said this. Then what happens, right? You have friction in the team. You have to go back again, and that could have been resolved if you upfront double checked and questioned things. So guys, I hope you don't run into the same kind of issue after seeing this. If you did like this content, please join me on this journey by liking and subscribing on TechSovara. Really nice to see you all. I hope to see you at the next video in a couple of weeks. And looking forward to sharing more interesting things to do with the video games side of development. I'll speak to you then. Bye.